Ah, oh, okay. So Mario Montessori is not in currently. Right. Well, I just had a question about the prepared environment, so I didn't know if he could give me a call back later. Great. Yep. Yep. He can just call Alan Montessori. That'd be good. Great. Thank you so much. Oh, hey guys, you caught me again. I was on the phone with Mario Montessori. I don't know if you've heard of him. Anyways, Dr. Montessori's son. But he has some really great answers to how we should prepare the environment this year, and I just wanted to bounce some ideas off of him. But lo and behold, he's not in the office right now. Wouldn't it be nice if he was? Really, I wasn't talking to anyone, but I'm here to talk to you. I'm here to talk to you about the prepared environment. And so a little thing I want you to know is that this is the first step that we took over the summer as teachers, is thinking about how can we prepare the environment and learn how to set aside what it was that we were doing prior to this and consider what we can do to help make a prepared environment in what is new to us, this whole new online remote learning. And so one of the things you know about a prepared environment is that it's designed specifically for each child. Though it's an environment that all children share, within it are experiences for individual children. It's how we follow the child. We also know that prepared environment provides order for our students, and that order then leads to concentration. And it also provides students with the opportunity to practice grace and courtesy. And so all of these concepts that still are rooted in that pedagogy I talked about, how we teach, all of this is designed in a prepared environment. And how do we get that environment that we enjoy and love teaching within in a remote environment? And so some important components that we look at as Montessorians and that we have evaluated as teachers together in our cohorts and across levels are when we prepare an online environment or an environment where our students are switching from online back to face-to-face, back to online. How do we prepare that so that there's consistency, so that there's order, that there's opportunity for grace and courtesy, that the environment has enough materials for all of our students, and at the same time leads them individually on their own paths? And so here's some things that we considered. We want to make sure that we acknowledge all different modalities of learning and how students like to learn. We want to make sure that we're honoring the synchronous when we're working together versus asynchronous types of learning when we're not working together. Now, those are big fancy words that you hear a lot of people using, but essentially what that means is that we're looking at independence versus not independence. What are our opportunities that we're providing for that? Additionally, we're looking at a daily schedule. So how can we provide students and families with a great schedule that is a guide for them to help work through when they're face-to-face versus online, and how can we make that as independent as possible for the child to understand what that schedule looks and feels like? The tone of our environments, again, I told you in our previous video, we spend a lot of time in the prepared environment before students come in a regular school year, just setting the tone. And I'll always tell you, all the people coming through on a tour, when you walk into each classroom, you feel a different tone based on that teacher and what they want to present to their children as an environment. And so we spend a lot of time on how do we set a tone in an online environment, and what does that look like for us? And then also the routines and rituals. So the prepared environment is built on routine and ritual. We know that predictability is something that encourages students to find order, to have concentration, and to feel safe. And so we want to make sure that routines and rituals are also noted in an online environment. And then founded within each of these are technology skills that we needed to know as staff to support that prepared environment, but then also those that we want to teach to our students so they can be comfortable and safe in that, as well as independent in that online and prepared environment. So we've done a lot of professional development over the summer on how we can make sure that we prepare an environment to honor the learning modalities of students, to have independence, have a daily schedule or a weekly schedule that's very well communicated, an awesome tone based on our classroom and the culture of our classrooms, and rituals and routines so that students feel comfortable and safe. So this whole next piece of what we are presenting to you is our learning management system. Dun, dun, dun. Basically, the classroom. And our classroom, which we are choosing to use, is based on Google accounts for education, and Google Classroom. We had a lot of time to play with it last couple of months. Experiment, know what works, know what doesn't work. And essentially, even at the end of the past 4 months using Google Classroom, we are still all students. That's what we discovered, at least. I'm a student. Students are still students. Teachers are students. Teaching assistants are students. All of our families are students in the Google Classroom still. We all have something that we can learn to help make it better for ourselves, with the goal of helping us be a little more proficient in how we can utilize it so that it's not as frustrational. So our staff have done a lot of professional development to become Google certified in education, at least in the first level, to make sure that we all understand how to best utilize it. We've also talked extensively about how we can place the learning modes and multiple learning modes within one environment, and also how we can create better independence. And so we've done this at each level, lower elementary, upper elementary, and middle school, in hopes that we can provide the best prepared environment for all of our families and all of our students so that we can follow them and continue to follow them in their journey of Montessori learning. The upcoming presentation is going to show you all about Google Classroom, its basic functions, and how we use it. I ask that you spend a little bit of time with it together as a family, maybe even as yourself as a parent, or even just as a student. And even our teachers and staff have looked at it. And know that we are looking for everyone to learn something new. It will help our school year become a little less frustrational for our students, for our families, and for our staff if we all know a little bit more about that classroom. If you think back to when you joined our Montessori school, you probably came to 1 or 2 parent education nights. And those parent education nights told you a little bit more about the prepared environment and how important it is to us. It explained the materials, how we use them, why we use them. Why are there shelves? Why are there different parts to the room? What do you mean you work on the floor? All of these questions you had about the prepared environment were given to you in a parent education session. So you can kind of think about this little Google intro as that parent education session. Is there more to come? Yes. But we wanted to get something out to you ahead of time, give you the ability to look at it together as a family. Think about it, practice it maybe a little bit, and see what you can learn. So in the upcoming slides, you can think about however you feel is best for you as a family to consider what new environment you could be in. If you chose fully virtual or you're even doing the hybrid, in both scenarios, this online piece is going to be pretty key in the preparedness of us taking on the upcoming school year. So take time to look through this at your leisure and enjoy the sections that you might think are most important to you as a family, or go through them all. It's completely up to you. It's your own little path to navigate in terms of learning more about the learning management system in Google Classroom. I look forward to starting off the year with each and every one of you, even if some of it is virtual and some of it is in person. Again, enjoy this presentation. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. My email is on the website. It's just L. Hamlet, like the play, Shakespeare. I was meant to be a teacher. And I will be sure to get back to you. See you guys soon. Enjoy a little bit of learning time together. If you have any questions, give me a ring. Bye, guys. Have an awesome rest of your summer. This segment is all about our class dashboard. The class dashboard is what you see when you log into classroom.google. What you'll see is a list of any classroom that you've been invited to by your teachers, and you'll see in the gray box here the name of your teacher, and in the red smiley face here a picture of the teacher who's invited you. Also, what you'll see on the screen is a plus sign. So if you've been invited, you'll see this previous screen here of where you've been invited, and you can click on this plus sign. When you click on that plus sign, you'll be prompted to add the code that your teacher gave you. This is your class code and where you'll enter it. All class codes are lowercase letters. Your teacher will provide you with that where you can type it in and join the class. Once you've joined all of your classes, they'll show up still in your class dashboard. Here you'll see I'm a part of 2 classes. I'm a part of the Island Montessori Mentor Classroom here and Demo Classroom as well. What you'll notice is at the top is the title of one of our classes. Here's the title of my other class. Also, you'll notice in this screen on your dashboard, the Pancake menu. You can access all of your classes and other links inside this menu. You can access this Pancake menu from any page in any classroom. In your classes on your dashboard, you'll also see if there's any work due soon. And then also, you'll be able to click and view all your work for this class by clicking on this icon. You can also click on the File folder in your dashboard, and this will jump into your class folder of your Google Drive. Do not ever delete this folder in your Drive or move files out of it. If you do that, your teachers won't be able to see your work. In our next video, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Pancake menu. Yes, pancakes are delicious for breakfast. And yes, sometimes pancakes are on a menu. But today I'm going to be talking about a pancake menu of a different type. This pancake menu is found inside of the Google Classroom. You noticed on our previous presentation that they are the 3 horizontal lines that you see on your classroom dashboard. When you click on the Pancake menu, what it will do is drop down a menu for you to access all of your classes and other items. So you'll see here when I click on the Pancake, what pops up is an option for me to see all of my classes, my calendar, and down here are each of the classes that I'm a part of, the demo class and the Montessori mentor class. In the next part of our presentation, we will look at the pages. All right, let's talk about the pages in Google Classroom. So from our dashboard, we enter into our classroom, and we are going to see 3 pages. There are always going to be 3 pages that will be in your Google Classroom. Those pages are listed here at the top: the Stream page, the Classwork page, and the People page. An important thing to remember is that once you're in your classroom, you can always click on the name of your class to go right back to the stream. So from no matter what page you're on, you can always click this title and it will put you right back to the stream page. So let us take a look at the actual stream page. This is the first one that you'll come to when you log in. You will always land on the stream page. On this page, you will see that there are assignments that are due, and they show up in this box under the words upcoming. You can click on the assignments from here and jump right to them. Additionally, on the stream page, you will see that there are announcements posted. Announcements will be posted by a teacher. In some cases, students will also be allowed to comment on these announcements. From inside the stream, you also might find a Google Meet link. It will be right below the title of your class. Some teachers may not have this link visible. If it is visible, it means that your teacher has scheduled for a Google Meet. But do not go to a Google Meet unless you know your teacher has asked you to. Additionally, I'd like to point out the Pancake here at the top. Remember, we can always click here to get menu options. Sometimes there'll be things that you can click on and view in the announcements. For example, in today's announcements and positive messages, I placed a video, Funny Babies Laughing. Once you see a positive message or any type of message from your teacher posted there, your teacher may allow you to reply to the posts. Everyone can see the comments, so make sure you're respectful and responsible when you make class comments. Your teacher can stop you from commenting if they need to. Once you've typed in your class message or comment, you can then press this triangle here to post your comment. Again, I'd like to mention, some teachers may be waiting until grace and courtesy lessons have occurred to allow the comment function to be turned on. In our next video, we're going to be talking about the Classwork page. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Classwork page. So the Classwork page is next to the stream. When you click on Classwork, now it becomes highlighted in blue and underlined. Once you click into the Classwork, there's a few icons that I'd like you to be familiar with. At the top are 3 icons: a clipboard, a calendar, and a folder. The clipboard icon here allows you to see all your work for the class, and we'll talk more about that later on. The calendar icon allows you to open your Google Calendar in another tab. And the Drive folder here is the exact same thing you saw in your classroom dashboard. Remember, we don't want to delete this folder or move files out of it, otherwise our teachers can't see any of our work. But we could click on this in order to see our work. These are the 3 icons that are great to use at the top of the Classwork page. Additional icons that you'll see in the Classwork page are the material icon, the question icon, and the assignment icon. This material icon is gray, and that's because there is no work for you to do with the material. However, that material is provided to you by your teacher because it will help you do your work. Below that is that question icon. Now you'll notice that the question icon is blue because there's work to do with this. Your teacher has asked you a question and you need to answer it. Once you've completed the question, this blue icon will then turn gray, saying that you've turned it in. Below that is the assignment icon. The assignment icon is just like the question icon. It's blue until the work has been completed and then it turns gray. The difference is you can be asked a question which you'll answer directly with yes or no or multiple choice or a short answer. And the assignment icon usually comes with a little more work in it, a little less than just a yes or no type question or a short answer. These are the icons that you should be most familiar with when you're in the classroom page. So now that you know a little bit about the icons, let's talk about the topics. So there's topics that are in the classwork page as well. Topics are in blue and underlined, and teachers might post work under those topics. Here you'll see I have two topics, the week of August 17th, welcome to school, and additional works on the shelf. Underneath the topic is where you find the works that I have posted. Now, on the left side, you'll also see a list of the topics. Here are the same two topics, a week of August 17th and additional works on the shelf. If you wanted to, you could click on these topics here and only the work under those would show. Just a way to make your page look a little bit neater. Next, we're going to talk about the assignments in the classwork. Let's talk about assignments in the classwork tab. Once you're in the classwork tab, we've already talked about the topics that you'll see. These are in blue. So for example, here's the topic additional works on shelf. But underneath of that topic are all my assignments. My assignments are listed, and I can click one time on an assignment to see an assignment preview. So I can see a preview of it by clicking once. For example, here, Test Summer Assignment, I clicked once, and dropping down from it is the preview. The preview allows you to see the work. It will state if it's been assigned or if you haven't done it yet or if it's late, that it's missing. And then also the due date of that assignment sitting at the top. A closer look at the assignment preview reveals that you can also see if your teacher has attached a rubric. Teachers may choose to assess the work that you turn in, and if they do, they'll show you how the work should look if it were exemplary, if it were great. What types of effort are they looking for in the work? Will all be in the rubric. You can also see that sometimes your teacher will post a video for you to watch or a sound file for you to listen to in order to complete the work. Also, from the preview, you'll see View Assignment. You can click the link to view the assignment in more detail. So, if I were to click View Assignment, we would go inside the assignment. And our next video will be all about what to do once you are inside the assignment. So you've done it. You have gone into the classwork page, you clicked on the preview, and now you are inside of that assignment. Our assignment is called Test Summer Assignment. And once you're inside, you'll see two important things first and foremost that you'll need to look at. The first being underneath this blue line are the instructions. This is how you will complete the assignment. Then below that are any materials that your teacher has added for you to view in order to complete the work. Also inside the assignment, it's important to notice a few more things, such as how is your teacher going to assess your work? So again, this was one of the assignments that had a rubric with it, meaning your teacher was going to show you a little bit about what she expects from your exemplary effort, in which case it's going to be out of 12 total points, and that number is here on the screen. Additionally, if you have been assigned something to you personally by your teacher, it will show up here. This is where you'll click to complete the work. It'll always be titled with your name. Make sure you don't click the X, because if you click that X, it's going to delete your work. When you're inside the assignment, outside of seeing the work, the materials needed, you'll also see this Turn In button. Turning an assignment in and finishing it is something that we'll talk about in our very next video. So you know where your work is and you're in the assignment and you're getting ready to turn it in. There's a few different things to notice. For example, sometimes your teacher may not have attached an individual work for you. So you won't see it here. You'll notice in the screen, there's no work here with your name on it. So if you have clicked on the assignment work here and you've done as your teacher has asked, such as listened to the video or perhaps even just watched a video, click Mark as Done to show that you're finished with that assignment. Other times, you noticed in our previous video that your teacher may have actually assigned you an individual work and it's got your name with it. So if there are documents for you to work on in the assignment, the button will ask you to turn it in when you're finished. So again, once this is finished, you would click Turn in Assignment. And sometimes you might need to add a file to your assignment because you've created something. If that's the case, you'll look for your file in your drive, or you can click a link to the URL or upload it from your own computer. To do that, you'll just click on the plus, add or create, and select the option that you wanted from Drive, Link, or File. Additionally, if your teacher has not made you an individual file to work, or if you've created something extra special that you wanted them to see in a doc or a slide, then you can create it here within the assignment. So for this bead stair template here, where we're solving problems, perhaps you wanted to write your own word problems and solve them, and you did so in Google Slides. You can click Slides to complete that work, and it will automatically be titled with your name, and it will automatically open in a new tab for you to work on it. That way, when you turn in your assignment, your word problems and additional work will also be with it. No worries about sharing it with us, though, because you've already opened it within the assignment. Your teacher can see it already through Access in Google Classroom. Once you've turned in an assignment, your teacher's going to give you feedback in a variety of ways. It's important that you know the two most important, that's redundant, it's important that you know the two best ways that you will receive feedback. One of them is comments on your assignment. So this works for both you and the teacher. You can send your teacher a private comment or question that only your teacher can read, and she can respond back. So if she sees the work that you're doing and wants to encourage you, she might send you a comment. If you're working on your work and you're having some trouble, you can send her a comment. Additionally, your teacher may turn on class comments. So that way, as you're doing a work, you might be able to ask questions to the entire class and receive feedback and help from your class as well. Again, this is something that the teacher can turn on and off, and once you guys have done a little bit of work in Grace and Courtesy using online comments, you might see this turned on for your class. Another way a teacher can give feedback is with a rubric. Remember, in this assignment preview, you were able to click on the rubric and see that it was something that the teacher would use as an example of what exemplary work would look like. Once you're in the assignment, you can see the rubric below. You can actually click on it for a little more detail. And so you'll see here that the teacher is looking at effort and the attention to detail of the work, and you'll see exactly the different ways that she will be looking to see your effort. If your work has already been assessed by the teacher, then the rubric will have a blue box that indicates your level and where you were with this assignment. In our next portion, we're going to be talking about short answer questions in Google Classroom. So there's another type of assignment teachers can give you, and those are questions. There's two types. They can give you short answer questions and multiple choice questions. Let's take a look at what those look like. Here is a short answer question. You'll see it listed as, what do you love about Isla Montessori? It looks like an assignment in terms of how it's laid out, but the icon tells you here that it's a question, and it's blue, meaning we haven't answered it yet. It falls under the topic, additional works on the shelf. Once I click on it, if there was more to tell me about this question, there'd be a description. But you can also click on the link to view the question in more detail. So let's do that. Once we're outside of the preview of the question, now we have the ability to answer it. Inside of a short answer question, you'll see the question, any more of the description. For our description, it says, take a minute and show some love. In one sentence, tell us what you like about Isla Montessori. Over here is where I answer my question. Here is where I type my answer in the box on the line. I love all the amazing teachers at Isla Montessori School. And then I click Turn It In. My assignment is finished. Sometimes your teacher will let you edit your answer when you finish, and sometimes she'll let you reply to other answers from classmates. Again, once grace and courtesy is in place in your classroom, you'll see this turned on for each one of these. This is an example from a question in another class where students were commenting on each other's short answers. Up at the top, you'll see your answer and classmate answers, which you would find here. Outside of short answer questions, there are multiple choice questions that your teacher can give you. Here's what the multiple choice question preview looks like. When I click on it and it drops down the preview, you can actually answer a multiple choice question right from the classwork page, even from within the preview. Just pick your option and then click Turn In, which you see here in gray. If you wanted to see the question in more detail, you can click View Question. Let's do that. Inside of a multiple choice question, you'll see, again, the question here, and where you can place your answer, yes or no. And then you can simply click Turn In from that option. Also inside the multiple choice question, once you click your answer, sometimes your teacher will let you see what the other kids in the class have answered, which is awesome. That way you can see what your answer compared to others is. You can also preview multiple choice answers from the preview page in the classwork. So after you answer a multiple choice question, sometimes the teacher will let you see what other kids in your class have selected actually on the classroom page too. So you would just click on the assigned question once and drops down the preview and you can see what everyone has answered. And the next part of it, we will talk about quiz assignments. Sometimes your teacher might give you a quiz assignment. Now these are pretty fun actually because they're Google Forms that you can fill out and have immediate feedback with. Let's look a little bit more into what these are. A quiz assignment shows up like a material in the classroom. You'll see the material icon here in blue. You can open a quiz assignment. Like I said, it's just a Google form right from the classwork page. And when you submit it, it automatically turns it in for you. You can also click the link for more detail. So again, remember, click once to drop down the preview and automatically access the quiz, or you can click View Assignment so you can see it in detail. Let's take a look at it in detail. Now we're inside of the quiz assignment. You can click on the quiz here to answer the questions. When you submit the quiz, it will automatically turn in the assignment for you, and you'll see that up here. Once you've taken your quiz, you'll be able to get results. Sometimes your teacher will let you see your score right after you press submit on the quiz. And if your teacher returns your score, you'll also be able to see it in Google Classroom by clicking Open Assignment. The score will be in the inside corner of your assignment. So when you click Open Assignment, you'll see your score here. Additionally, another way you can view your quiz results is by clicking on View Your Work from the student page of the classwork, and then when you view your work, you'll see a list of your assignments and your scores. Once you have had your assignment graded and checked by your teachers, you will get an email when it is returned to you. For example, here you see in the inbox that What Do You Love About Island Montessori has been graded. You can click within that email and see your score and open your assignment up and view your answers and see feedback. For example, here's an old quiz. When I clicked to view the assignment from my email, I can see the overall score at the top. 0 out of 0 means that there wasn't any score or points given for this, but that your teacher was able to go through and look for correct and incorrect answers and give you feedback. Correct answers are in green. Incorrect answers are in red. If you get the answer wrong, your teacher may show you the right answer right above the feedback box. For example, this was correct, and here's the feedback. Well done, you did an awesome job. Here is a question where maybe something wasn't right, and underneath is feedback to help the students correct that work. Points are in the top right corner of every question. These results can be accessed using the email sent to you from your teacher. Next, we're going to be talking a little bit about the materials in our Google Classroom. So we've talked about the assignments, we've talked about the questions, and we've talked about the quizzes. Let's look at materials in the Classwork tab. So if you click one time on a material, and remember the material icon is gray, you see it here, and it falls underneath of the topics, you can click on this icon one time, and dropping down from it is a preview of it. You can access the material from this preview, or you can click View Material to see it in more detail. Let's go inside of a material. When we click to view the material, you'll see it opens up, and materials are simply information. They usually don't require you to do any work. There's no option to send your teacher a private message or to turn in work from a material. Sometimes teachers may give you something to do, like an assignment within a material, and if that happens, you'll need to connect and let them know how they want you to hand it in. But this material is going to be there for you to use and be able to complete a work maybe that comes after it or within your actual classrooms. Next, we're going to look at the student work view. Also in the classroom tab, our classwork tab, is the student work view. Let's take a peek at this. At the top on the right, you'll see a little clipboard icon. We've seen it in prior videos. This icon is what will allow you to see all of your work for this class. So if we were to click on the icon, this is what would pop up. Miss Kelly is a student in our class. Here is all the work that is listed for Miss Kelly to complete. Then over here, you can see if you're still working on it, it's called assigned, or if you finished it, that it's turned in. You can also see your grade. From the student work view, you can see on this side menu, you can actually click for categories. You can filter it for work that is assigned, work that needs to be, or that has been returned with a grade, or work that's missing. You can see here are some examples from Miss Kelly's class. She's missing 3 assignments because we clicked on the word missing. Additionally, you can filter what you'd like to see on the side with each of these links. Click one time on any of these assignments and you'll see more details drop down for the preview. You'll be able to access your attached work and see private comments between you and your teacher from this preview. So here, Miss Kelly has clicked on 10 ways to ruin grade 5. So here is the student work, and below are the comments with the teacher. You can always access this from your student work view. The student work view, I said, has shown up in other videos because, remember, when we were looking at our classroom dashboard, we were able to see the clipboard icon right here. So once again, you can also jump to the student work view page right from the classroom dashboard by simply clicking on that icon. Next up, we're going to be talking about calendars. Once you've joined a Google Classroom, your Google Classroom will have its very own calendar where assignments due are listed. Let's take a look. From your classwork page, you can click the calendar icon seen here at the top in order to open the calendar in another tab. Once you've opened your calendar, you'll see that there are 2 different views, the weekly view and the monthly view. You can choose that by clicking at the top where this yellow circle is. A drop-down menu will appear and show you weekly, monthly. You can even choose daily if you'd like. You can click on an assignment from your calendar and it will pull it up for you automatically in a new tab. Also, you can click this Pancake menu here that we have talked about in previous videos and open the classroom calendar. Here's what it looks like. Clicking on the Pancake, you can then click on the calendar icon. Once you click on the calendar icon from the Pancake, you'll see the classroom calendar is going to only show 1 week at a time. The Pancake menu classroom calendar allows you to see any assignment that's due that week on the day that it is due. And you can click on the assignment to open that up. If your teacher has created an assignment for a Zoom lesson, it will show in this weekly view. If your teacher is not creating a Zoom lesson as an assignment, it is a calendar invitation that you've had to accept. Next up, we're going to be talking about the to-do list. Also under the classwork page is the to-do list. The to-do list can be found by clicking on the Pancake menu seen here and then opening the to-do list. When I click on the Pancake menu, here's what would pop up. Then I would click To Do to open my to-do list. Once my to-do list is open, I can show work from all classes or just pick whichever class I wanted. So I can see when it's due, and click on the title of the assignment if I wanted to jump right to it. Under the to-do list, I can also click on the Done tab and see which assignments are already finished. I can see my grades here as well. Next up, we're going to talk about notifications and settings. Now that you're in this classroom, it's potential that you'll get a lot of notifications. Things that are being posted by the teacher, what's being returned, and sometimes those can feel a bit overwhelming. So we can show you a little bit about how to set your settings so that maybe it's not as overwhelming. From the Pancake menu, and you can access this from the Classwork tab or the Stream, no matter what tab you're on, the Pancake menu will allow you to open the notification settings. You then need to click on the gear to open the settings and notifications. Decide which notifications you want and which you don't, and you can slide the dial to the left to turn off notifications. You can see here notifications are on for all the comments and all the classes that you are enrolled in. Turn notifications off for some classes or leave them on for others, and you can change your notifications whenever you want. It's up to you and your own class settings.